Alright, so dreads in the springtime, guys. Stepping out of the colder season, I'm pretty sure you guys didn't have to deal with this a whole lot. Just because you're constantly indoors, constantly got a hat on. Nobody's really doing anything too physical unless you're like an athletic person, you like coach or you play basketball or football or something athletic or something physical. Obviously you're going to be sweating, but the majority of people with dreads who aren't doing all those physical activities don't really have this problem. So something that you're going to have to face this springtime, whether you're a veteran or a newbie dreader, is sweating. You're going to be sweating a whole lot more than you were during the wintertime. Your retwists along with that sweating are not going to last as long as they would during the colder months. So just be mindful of that. Just be mindful of that. A lot more do-rags, a lot more satin wraps, a lot more Tams, a lot more whatever it is to keep your hair in place. You're probably going to have to do that a little bit more. Or you can go back and get your hair retwisted every 2 weeks or a week or whatever the case is, however you like to keep your hair situated. Me personally, I don't care what period of the year it is, I'm going to do my hair, once a month. As always, I don't really care about the nappy new growth type of stuff. That's just me. I'm good with that. So depending on the hair condition that you have or the hair condition that you choose to have, whether you want them neat or you want them messy, that's just up to you. And that's just something that you're going to have to look forward to this springtime, or the hotter part of the season is redoing your hair a lot more. Dreads during the springtime. So it's springtime, it's a whole lot hotter than it was in the wintertime, obviously, because hot and cold, that's two different contrasts. Listen, your dry time, if you like to air dry your hair, which I do, so I'm speaking to you people who do like to air dry your hair. You don't sit underneath the blow dryer or whatever the case is, or stick your hair in the dryer where you're pressing that little weird button. And listen, if you like to air dry your hair, your dry time for your dreads is going to be a lot shorter, and that's pretty much a good thing if you like to air dry your hair. Now also, being outside and exposed to the sun automatically and naturally helps to lighten your natural hair color. So that's two pluses right there. I don't know if you realize that, but most people, even if you have dark hair, you never dyed it, you want some kind of like different kind of natural blend or contrast. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, I ain't dyed that. That's natural. Yeah, that's natural. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's natural. So that's a plus for you right there if you choose to have a lighter color in your hair. Just realize that air drying your hair is probably the best way to dry your hair. One, because you're receiving actual elements to your hair. You're receiving oxygen, nitrogen, all that good stuff. Carbon dioxide is flowing through that mud, creating a chemical compound, and it's like combusting and forming atoms. No, it's not really doing all that, but it's actually being interactive with nature, which is the best thing for you. Anything that's thermal or whatever the other heats are, like, it's usually a lot more damaging than natural. Airflow from the nature, you get air as well as heat, and that's always a good. So just remember that less moisture is always better for your hair. Spring, obviously being a hotter season of the year, you might need to find an easier way to cool down your body. Why? Because whether you're a veteran or whether you're a newbie, your dreads and that basket of hair on your head is going to make you hotter. It's gonna help retain a lot more heat onto your body than if you just had a low cut fade or whatever the case was. You're gonna have to find or implement some kind of way to keep yourself cool. Me personally, I get hot very fast. I get hot really fast. Like, I'll be sweating when I'm waking up. I'll be sweating as I'm going to sleep. So just keep that in mind, that carrying like a wet towel or a wet rag, or like, you ever see those hotel towels? It's not like a full towel, it's kind of like a body towel or a hand towel or something like that. Wet one of those, throw it over your shoulder, around your neck. Me personally, I stopped using the towel because that just kind of, you know what I mean, in my neighborhoods that I used to live in, it kind of get targeted by police and law enforcement. They just automatically think you're a set group. So I stopped doing that, and usually what I'm doing is carrying around an ice bottle or frozen water or whatever the case is, and I just hold that in my hand, all day, as long as you want. You can put it in your pocket, keep your leg cool. If you're sitting down, you put it in between your legs, keep your whole core cool. Like, if anything that's touching your core area usually helps keep the rest of your body cool. If you want to keep your direct head cool, you could always wet a hat, put it in the freezer, put it on your head. I'm not saying that's gonna work, but hey man, that's just an idea for you. So there you go. Just realize you're gonna be a lot hotter this spring than you were in the wintertime. Okay, so probably the most important reason and the most important thing about springtime and having dreads and having hair is that you will be able to let your hair get some of the best natural resource that it can have. No matter what product you're putting in your hair, how good you're washing your hair, whatever the case is, sunlight, period, is the best thing on the market naturally for your hair. You're getting ultraviolet rays that are condensed sunlight, which is basically broken down molecules of skin, hair, nail, pigment, moisture, water. Everything natural about you and the sun is directly connected. So as long as you're getting sunlight, you should have normal organ function on the skin, hair, nails. It's called the integumentary system. Not to get all medical terminology on y'all, but that's just basically the organ system that we're talking about right there, if you want to look that up. So it basically helps keep your skin growing, helps to keep your hair growing, helps to keep every function that it's supposed to be doing in full function, and as well as the development and growth of it. So more sunlight is better. Springtime isn't all bad because you got to get a retwist every 2 weeks or a week now. It's a lot better for you if you want your hair to grow. If you just want the style, you don't really care, and you're killing your hair anyway, hey, go run and travel. But remember, just remember, and this is like the one metaphor style that I can put to you. Remember when you were young, or maybe you're young now, like over the summer, you start off at this one period, and at the end of the summer, your mom or your dad or your uncles or whoever was raising you, or whoever you came in contact with was like, man, you sprouted over the summer. Looked like you grew a whole 2-3 inches over the summer. Your voice got deep over the summer. What you been doing? Sunlight, fool. Sunlight helps you develop and grow. That's what it is. Sunlight is the natural thing that helps you process and metamorphosize into something bigger, better, stronger, faster. So, Dread Life 101, I hope y'all take these into consideration. I hope y'all, if y'all have any comments or any tips, go down in the comment section, or you can email me, or whatever the case is, leave a comment down there. If you got a good idea about dreads in springtime that I didn't put on here because there's only 4, but just to keep it short, go down there in the comment section, start a conversation with somebody, do what y'all do, conversate, network. Dread Life 101, I'ma holla at y'all.
Sergeant ASAP. Sergeant ASAP. Going ahead.